And basically it's melting silver. Welcome back. You're watching The Incline with Crystal, and I am here with a good friend of mine, Janeen, with the St. Louis collection at the New Black Wall Street Market. Right, Janeen?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm excited to be here interviewing you.
Me too.
For a few reasons, because I find it very interesting. You know, you are a jewelry artisan, would you say?
Yeah, metalsmith.
Metalsmith,
Yes,
for
yes.
correction, right? Metalsmith. So explain to the viewers for the Incline, what is a metalsmith?
Well, a metalsmith is somebody that works with metals, basically. You have a silversmith, a blacksmith. Because I work with multiple different metals, I just say metalsmith. Basically, I work with sterling silver, brass, copper, and bronze. I am able to work with gold. So yes.
So are you just in the jewelry space or anything metal?
Jewelry space for now.
Okay, for
Yes,
now.
for now.
For now. So how did you get started?
I got started, actually, my background is in beading, so I'm known for my beadwork in Boston.
Okay.
And until 2013, I started to teach myself how to do metalsmithing. I did take 3 classes to understand the torch and heat control, the fundamentals, basically. And then it just took off from there. But I really did it to create a narrative in jewelry making that was about Black culture. So I do like to storytell and create themes around our culture.
I noticed that too with your customers. I think we were talking just recently, and I think that's your motivation, right?
yes.
Is the storytelling part for
yes.
your customers. Tell the viewers about a recent story that you shared with me. You don't have to mention anybody's name for privacy reasons, but there was a gentleman who his wife brought in a ring that was sentimental to his family.
Oh, yes.
Can you talk about that story?
Yes, so sometimes I do, custom work. I rarely do repairs, but this woman came in and she was very persistent and really wanted me to try. And I believe the ring she had was platinum. I don't work with platinum, and I never worked with diamonds, and it had diamonds in it. And she wasn't sure if they were real diamonds. I'm like, I think these are real diamonds.
So you were like, oh God.
Yes, but she really believed in me and my skill. And I told her I'd do some research first to see, if it's okay to put the ring under the torch and this sort of thing, and what would happen to the stones if I did. And diamonds can take heat. So I'm like, okay. But again, I wasn't 100% sure.
First time ever.
First time ever. And it was a piece of metal missing. So he couldn't wear it. And it was his grandfather's ring that he got when he passed away. And it's been 5 years since he's been able to not wear it. So I was able to fix it, repaired it, get it like brand new. And then I let her know that it was done. She said, okay, we're going to come in, but he's not going to know. And so she comes in the mall. She said, he's in the mall somewhere. I told him to come here.
So cool.
Yes. And he comes in, and then I played it off and said, listen, I said, would you mind if I measured your finger, if you could try this ring on? Because I forgot I just want to see what it looks like on you, because you look like the same.
Sure.
So he said, sure. So I put it on his hand, and he looked at it and he was shocked to see that it was his grandfather's ring.
What an emotional.
Oh yeah. I remind you, this man is like 6'6" and big, and just a big man, and he just cried like a baby.
So how did you feel about that? I mean, the catalyst for you opening your doors every day and saying, this is a big deal, for your customers.
It is. And I do put a little, like, my heart and soul when I do custom work. And it's reactions like that remind me why I really want to do this, because, you don't see many Black people in the trade of metalsmithing, let alone a woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it brings me so much joy to do that for them.
So what are some of your favorite pieces? Like, do you like to do rings, necklaces?
I like to
earrings,
do rings and bracelets, cuff bracelets, because I like to. I do them in a certain way. They're kind of really artsy looking.
So what's the time put in? So if I said, Janeen, I want a nice custom piece, what would be the process?
It depends. So it depends. You have some people who tell me they want something. For instance, a woman wanted something for her 7 children that represented legacy and motherhood, and she basically left it for me to figure that out.
Wow.
So not only do I have to come up with the creative property on the design,
Sure.
but the execution of that too. And so once I am able to develop that, so that can take about a couple months, maybe 3.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
huge.
it has to come to me. I can't
It's different than
rush.
just walking in a store and saying, I want to purchase,
Yes,
something from the mall.
yes, because
But
even if I come up with the idea and present it to her or
Mhm.
them, they might want to tweak it a little bit. So I have to go back to the drawing board. So sometimes it can just it can take some time.
That is really neat, Janine.
Yes, yes.
I know that you have also shared with me your incline story. This push past. You've had to push past adversities in
Hmm.
life. Can you share some of that?
Yes,
Because it means something for you to stand here, woman owned, black owned business,
yes,
mother,
yes.
right? But how did you get here?
And New Black Wall Street?
Well, as it relates to your story,
Yes. So I'm from Boston
Mm-hmm.
and I came to Atlanta for love.
You hear this? Came to Atlanta for love. How many
um,
people have done that?
and I've always been a very culturally prideful, nationalistic person about my culture and my people.
Gotcha.
And so the person I did fall in love with happened to be Hashim Nzinga, national chairman of the New Black Panther Party.
Mm-hmm.
And we relocated me to come down here. And unfortunately, he passed away of cancer 2 years ago. But he always encouraged me to get back into my jewelry because everything was put aside uh, to basically take care of him.
Sure.
But he told me to make sure you get back to selling your jewelry, making your jewelry, and doing what you love. I said I will. And so through his community efforts and his work, he works closely with New Birth Church, who's also been a part of my success here at New Black Wall Street. And so if it wasn't for the relationship that he had and brotherhood that he had with Jamal Bryant and Quincy Gamble, I would not be here. So I'm fortunate to be here. It's been a beautiful experience being here and Mr. Allen creating this beautiful opportunity for entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
I've learned so much about myself and how I run my business. Um, Positives and negatives. I see room for a lot of improvement. So it's definitely been a beautiful experience overall.
How would you say you've actually grown in your skill set here at at the New Black Wall Street market?
Okay, so well, I wouldn't say skill wise because
Mm-hmm.
it's repetition. The more
Mm-hmm.
you do it, the better
Mm-hmm.
you get.
Okay.
But I will say,
You would say that as a creative, right?
yeah,
Those of us who have no idea how to
yeah,
become a
it's
metal
metalsmith,
smith.
right?
Yeah.
But I started off from nothing, so everybody can definitely learn it. You just got to
Okay.
want to be willing to learn and
Sure.
develop the skill. But I would say what I learned most about the store is how to manage inventory because
Mm-hmm.
everything is handmade and custom orders. And I don't have the help, so it's hard to find the help in this trade, especially with.
Yeah, we've talked about that, right?
Yeah, sure, I can probably find anybody, but I don't want anybody
Anybody.
in my branding
Back to the
because
things we talk about on the incline in
yes,
owning a business, starting a business, and all of
that's
the
right.
background things that go with that, including staff
Oh
and the
yes,
right staff,
the
right?
right staff because you represent me, you represent the brand, and
Mm.
so it's important for me that whatever the core values of the company is or the
Yeah.
business is, you have to also be about that too.
Yeah, your customers expect
Oh yeah,
consistency
that's
and
right.
quality,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Across the board.
Oh yeah.
So what is your process of finding, how do you find those people? What do you do? How do you train them? Is there, or do they already need a particular skill? Is that what you're looking for?
Well, I actually did start an apprenticeship program,
Okay.
and there was a want and a desire for it. The customers coming in that wanted to really learn,
Okay.
and that's what prompted me to be like, let me give this a shot because I do need help. So the trade off would be you learn to trade for free, and then I would get some inventory. It's a very expensive trade to get into, So I thought it would be an opportunity for both of us. And but this business is not sexy.
You
So
hear it. So this is where Janeen works. If you
yeah.
can see the background,
Yes.
I came in one day and I said, Janeen, I'm going to interview you for the Incline Show. I said, and she was like, yep, this is it. This is it right here.
Oh yeah, you get a
Yeah.
whole bunch of cuts, and there's a lot of fumes you deal with, the chemicals you work with, and it's repetition. It's I call it the wax on, wax off process. You know, in the Karate Kid, the gentleman that was the boy that wanted to learn how to karate because he's being bullied, and the master teacher was like, wax on, wax off, and that little boy was so resistant to doing that. He didn't want to do that. He just wanted to learn to kick the boys behind. But until the master saw that, he showed discipline, consistency, and a willingness to learn, that boy eventually, took pride into that.
That's why you have to have a passion for what you want to do.
Yeah,
in life in general.
It does,
right?
I mean, it takes, if you're not used to doing something, you got to massage your way in it. And so a lot of this work is very tedious. And so that's why I call it the wax on, wax off process. And so some people don't get past the wax on.
Yeah, because when you talk about the time that it takes to create a custom piece.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually expecting for you to say a couple of weeks or, maybe a month.
Right. Not when I'm doing a store. So that's another thing with the store and custom work. It can take much longer.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. If I was doing like no interruptions in the studio somewhere, you know what I mean, on my own time,
but you also have to focus on the customer service part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
But trying to navigate through inventory just for the store, and I have to stop to do the orders and then focus on the inventory in the store. So that's been kind of a challenge.
Well, we're going to pray that you get consistent help soon.
Yes.
Maybe someone who's watching the Incline might be interested, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Janeen, you have a son.
Yes.
And I know that's a big motivation for you. I watch you balance delicately being a mother and being a business owner.
Yes.
And is there something you also want to tell the viewers who are in your same position, right? What's the motivation that you can share with them? Single moms who may be widows now or for any other reason that they are by themselves, raising their children and also trying to stabilize their businesses.
Yes, I would say that because you're an entrepreneur, definitely let your children see what you're doing. It's important for your children to see that you're doing for self, that you're working for yourself.
I like
and
that.
Don't be afraid to venture off and do for self. Marcus Garvey, one of my greatest entrepreneurs, encouraged that for Black people, do for self. So I bring my son to work with me so he can see. So he can see that this is our store. Look what mommy's doing. I'm making something with my hands. I hope he'll inherit all this and take on the craft, but that's on him. But I definitely want him to see me building something, working with my hands, and then operating a store, how I interact with people, and showing cultural pride and putting culture into my work.
Interacting in how you treat customers too.
That's right.
Is such a big deal.
That's right.
Isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So what's the next step for, the St. Louis collection?
So part of from here, I have, the steps. My goal is to brand my jewelry with a specific line of jewelry and patent that. And create a jewelry that is all about cultural pride, because that's what I'm about, that we can be proud of. It's about legacy. They're heirlooms. They appreciate with time, not depreciate with time.
And you'll have to come in the shop because there's beautiful pieces in Janeen's shop.
Yes,
just absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, I haven't even touched the surface yet, because it's, like I said, trying to have inventory and then do orders. I don't get to really flex like I want to.
You hear, right? She's got to flex a little bit. It's coming though. It's coming because of the consistency, the dedication.
Yes.
Right. In all of the challenges that you have, she still comes in. She has a smile on her face. Her son is happy. It's a genuine love for her customers, a genuine love for, creative pieces that she's carrying in her shop. So it's all working together.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Janeen.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate the time that you're spending on the Incline with Crystal.
Absolutely.
And we hope that somebody out there is motivated by Janeen's story. Okay? We'll
Oh,
see you
yes.
the next time on The Incline. Bye.
Bye-bye. Ancestry. And basically it's melting silver